I arrange my classroom in neighborhoods, and it's usually in a cluster of 4 to 5 children in a neighborhood, depending on how many I have in my classroom. We call them neighborhoods. They get to name their own neighborhood, and they receive points for doing things as a neighborhood. The first neighborhood to get their things ready and ready to work will receive points. They get points for clean neighborhoods, desk inside and out and around, for cooperative learning. Today we named our neighborhoods, and they received points for cooperating and coming up with a name together. The neighborhoods work very well for cooperative learning, and they really help include those inclusion students during group work and those kinds of things, because they know, the others know, they can't leave those children out, so it really teaches them to learn cooperatively and help those kids. We have a target date, and every 3 weeks is a target day, and every 3 weeks the neighborhood with the most points gets to eat in the classroom. And we do this as a 3rd grade. We do it all together, and we call it our block party, and each neighborhood winner gets to eat in the room together with all the teachers. So they really have a lot of fun with that. I can give neighborhood points for all kinds of things. If everybody brings back a signed paper, I might do neighborhood points. If it's really important, I can do all kinds of things with that. Neighborhood points, and then when I talk about my tickets, I'll give lots of different points for those kids, so it includes everyone in the classroom. The home fun, instead of homework, I call it home fun, and I can even give neighborhood points for that, or I can give individual ticket points for that. In my neighborhoods, I give them a neighborhood bucket to help them organize their things. By the time they get workbooks, textbooks, boxes with crayons and pencils in their desk, things get a little congested, and it's hard for them to find things quickly and to be efficient. And we just need to move from transition, we need to move from one thing to the other. And it really helps those inclusion kids, because a lot of what they do with us in the room, if they are pulled out at all, will be the more hands-on activities that we do. They keep a whiteboard, and they have enough erasers for each child, and in the cup is their dry erase markers. Those are handy, and then we have private offices we can use to set up at any time when I want to do any kind of testing, to evaluate how they're doing. And this also really, inclusion kids, some of the autistic kids you have really like their space, and they will sit and they can kind of hide down in here, and it kind of lets them have a place of their own. Even discipline problems sometimes will need that. It kind of blocks them off from everyone else without having to exclude them from the neighborhood. Kind of gives them their private area. Some of them really enjoy that. Then I always make all the kids a folder, and this year I'm calling them Dot on the Spot. Kind of decorated my room with polka dots this year. So Dot on the Spot folder, and it's a folder, just a pocket folder that they can put work in, unfinished work, or later they'll have tools in here that will help them. They will have things in their folder to help them, such as before long they'll be receiving a sheet that has number words on it to help them write the numbers in word form. So anything that maybe be tool area, maybe spelling words, they'll receive a sheet, and we'll write spelling words in there, kind of like their personal dictionaries. And that helps inclusion kids a whole lot, because some are better spellers than others, and that gives them a tool to use, to have handy for them. And I use these instead of having to run off a lot of papers. When we do our math board every morning, they can write on these, and they're write on and wipe off, and it just gives them another modality, which really helps those inclusion kids instead of it all being paper and pencil. I give tickets for individual behavior, good behavior. I can give tickets for all kinds of things. Just sitting quietly while no one else is, picking up trash off the floor, turning in homework. Anything can be given for individual tickets. And that's really helps. It helps me catch some of the inclusion kids doing something good on their level versus a level of a higher level student. So it fits the needs of all students. I can give them for anything. I just give them out. We tear them off. They write their name on the back, place them in the bag, and then every Friday I'll draw 6 tickets out, and they get to get into the treasure chest. And that gives them that opportunity to choose something they would like. And we also use it as math and talk about probability. The more tickets you have, the more likely you will be to be drawn to be getting the treasure chest. Every morning as the children come in, after they've come in and done lunch count and attendance jobs, they need to turn in their homework. And I really try to teach them responsibility that they need to take their homework out of their folder. That it's their job to take care of that. So they each have they're each assigned a number, and they know what their number is, and it is in alphabetical order, and they are to put their homework in their mailbox each morning. And I use tickets to reinforce this, the individual tickets, and some days I might give 2 tickets for homework. Some days I might give 10 tickets to each child for bringing their homework. Just depends. It kind of keeps them on, they don't want to miss a 10-ticket day, so they're very good about bringing their homework back and forth to school. I like to try that instead of bringing back homework with positive reinforcement instead of negative reinforcement. It seems to have a better track record of working throughout the year. The kids I also have them, after their homework's turned in, I take their homework up, and then as they turn in papers, I have them turn them in. Then I immediately can go and count. She has 3 papers. She's turned everything in for the day. She's had 2 papers. Something's missing. And help remind those children to do that. It really helps the inclusion kids because I know exactly if they've turned in what they need to, if we're missing something, and it helps me to be able to give them a hint, or other kids in the classroom seem to help each other out as we go. And it helps them to be accountable for their responsibilities. Yeah, I do. She needs it. I do.
Bye, babe.
A burrito. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be baked on. Bye.